Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here, Raymond Lyons joining us as well. I'm Wilson Tarpey Jr. and the Washington Mystics with a heartbreaker out west against the Las Vegas Aces. They go into this game. Obviously, Leah Edwards still out. Shakira Austin, who played the last two games, were starting to get her legs underneath her. She was out this game after concussion symptoms from a collision last game with Tiffany Hayes. And then right before the game, we found out that Brittany Sykes was not going to play in this one. And, if you guys have been keeping up with the Sykes has got off to a hell of a start this year, averaging 25 plus over the first three games to start the year. That said, Washington came out here and they had the Aces on the ropes for a little bit, but the Aces are the Aces for a reason. Um, when you have tough teams down, you have to execute late. And the Aces have won championships for a reason. You saw, that cliche thing, championship medal, all that good stuff. 16-2 run by the Aces. The last 3 minutes and 3 seconds of this game, capped off by the Jewel Lloyd game winner. Jewel Lloyd was 1 of 8 before hitting the game-winning three in that moment. I get that up on the screen. Ray, we'll start with you, Cardell. Your thoughts on this wild finish and just a tough one for the Mystics overall.
Yeah, man, it's that fourth quarter. Like you laid it out. Down the stretch, the Aces were just, the more composed team, which, as you said, speaks to their experience and their just their grit and the success that they've had recently just is and then they're playing against a young team. So that's why it's just important to to just get things done, man. But all in all, pretty good game from the Mystics. Just the turnovers. Uh, it was a lot of times where they just they were just careless with the basketball. I think they had twice as many turnovers as the Aces did. You can't do that, especially when you're shorthanded. Um, and it just came back to bite them. They were yeah, they were just sloppy down the stretch, man. They lost the fourth quarter, 25-13 in a 3-point game. Um, it's I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because you want to be like no moral victories, man. They should have won this game, like plain and simple. Like and it's not like they're just a team that's just out here trying to make it work or what have you. I think what we've seen from them is still early in a small sample size, but they this is a talented team, man. They're not even at full strength yet, so they could very easily be 4-0. Um, so yeah, we I'm not extending any grace. You got to win this game. That this will be a big statement win early in the season, against one of the top tier teams in the league. But Kiki Ariafin and Sonia Citron, man, like just teammates are going to be co-rookie of the year for the first time in sports history. Like they're getting off to an amazing start to the season. I like what I saw from them tonight. Kiki, she's been through hell in her first week in the W with going up against BG and Bree Jones, then Tina Charles, and now Asia, and she's sat there and slugged with all of them. So it it's gonna get scary, man. 4 games in and she's competing like that. Sky's the limit for her. But overall, man, the Mystics, it seems like they have been able to do something they haven't been able to do in recent years early on. That's kind of found an identity. They seem like they want to play with pace. They're getting up and down. They're scrappy defensively as well. So, and if they can stay consistent with both of those things and limit the turnovers, man, they can have a hell of a season. But they just got to be more composed in big moments and take care of the ball better. For the Aces, I mean, they got a lot of veterans over there that have seen a lot in this league, and they just kind of stayed the course and were able to strike and seize the moment. They had a couple pushes earlier in the game, and the Mystics were able to hold them off. But that last one down the stretch was just the knockout blow. Yeah, 16-2 in the closing moments, and then gave up the game winning three. That's just a tough way to lose. But hats off to the Aces, man, and yeah, the Mystics hope they just continue to learn from their mistakes and they're able to close out games like this moving forward.
Cardo.
Yeah, man, hell of an effort for the Mystics, especially being wounded, being down your leading scorer. You going against a championship contender on the road at this time of the year. You basically being led by rookies. You know what I mean? And journeyman. Honestly, hell of an effort. It's a game they should have won. Fourth quarter, really, the snowball started in the third, but the fourth quarter it got real ugly, and that's the learning curve for for this young team learning how to win. You know what I mean? And not just with the players, even first year coach. Like learning who to keep in there, who not to take, making it the necessary adjustments to pull out this type of win, man. In the fourth quarter, Aces outscored them 25-13. 4-6 turnovers to score 8 points off of Washington's turnovers. So, 6 of their 17 turnovers came in the fourth. You know what I mean? And, then they held Washington 28% from the field, 25% from deep. And then that's with the Aces shooting 38% from the field. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's hard to it's just hard to overcome when you turning the ball over and you can't make shots, man. And what kept them in it to be able to pull this out was their defense. You know what I mean? Like their defense held up enough throughout the game, but once the Aces got confidence, it was all she wrote, man. And look, the Aces hit them with some strong jabs, but then so did the misses. They came right back. But just the defensive breakdown. And, even before the game winner from Jewel Lloyd, Kone was way too far off her. There was no way you can recover. I get you worried about Asia, but Kiki can handle it. She can make it tough on her. If she scores, she scores. That's what she do. But you can't be that far off of somebody as dangerous as Jewel Lloyd, even though she didn't shoot well from the field. And that's a testament to Citron and Melbourne. Those some tough defensive guards and Citron being a rookie and she's been through the gauntlet, so to speak, already too, man. Jewel Lloyd, like when she's on her game, it could be Kobe like. She can put points on the board in a variety of ways. And she's a tough cover. So to hold her at that point before the game winner, the 1 of 8, that's a hell of a stance, and especially what she was doing offensively. But the defensive breakdown where I forget who spun in the lane and found Chelsea Gray cutting back door. Finna fell asleep. Now you get the layup. Mystics miss it. Then you come back and now the game winner. Just defensive lapses. And those are the little details that the Aces know how to execute and be on point for when they're trying to win the game that the Mystics have to learn. And maybe with Sykes on the floor and Shakir and Aaliyah, maybe it's not like that. You know what I mean? Because you got more players that experience and played in big games and understand how to win. But with rookies, it's a learning curve, man. You know what I mean? So, but just to push the champs, like not the champs, but to push a championship contender like that on the road at this point of the season, it brings optimism. Obviously, like Ray said, I'm with you. It's no more victories. You should have won this game. These type of losses hurt down the road. If this keeps spiraling, like last year, next thing you know, it's just like you facing an uphill battle trying to get back in the playoff picture, man. So you got to get these type of wins, man, because we know that the Aces are struggling to get their rhythm out the gate, but we know they're going to be there at the end. So when you're a young team, a team that's pretty much new regime, you count on rookies to be pivotal pieces of the team's success. You got to try to pull out these wins, man. And it's tough because the next time they see the Aces, it's gonna be a totally different Aces team. They're gonna be gelling. They're gonna be in. I gotta look at the schedule, see when that is. But they're gonna be different. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be you just gonna be irritated with yourself because you're like, we had them, and then that's gonna be a different animal. So The all in all great effort, man. But experience won in the fourth quarter, and big game experience, and that proved to be the difference down the stretch.
Yeah, echo everyone, both of y'all sentiments. Jackie Young was huge down the stretch. You guys talked about the two rookies and the job they did, which was great. Kiki's been holding her own against some of the league's best. And to that point, you talk about with Sonya too. Like Jules 1-8 before that last shot. Ages 5 and 13. AJ and Kiki almost knocked each other.
Canceled each other out.
Thank you. Couldn't find the word. Canceled each other out. Jackie Young saved the day late, like on both ends of the floor. Late in the game, defensively, Jackie I felt like every one of her steals came in the last 2 minutes. I know that's not true, but it felt like it. The timely cuts, big shots. She stepped up. It was huge. Again, a team that's won championships before. They're comfortable in those times. Hopefully Washington learns from this going forward because, again, like you guys mentioned, they're leaning on some youngsters. But it was a hell of an effort. Again, still a game that you had a chance to walk out of Las Vegas with a big win. Again, far from full powered. You put yourself in a great position. Just the smallest margins. Cardell, you talk about the defensive breakdowns for the most part. Play good defense, but when they broke down, it was the win. It was the win in this game. It was literally the win. We had a conversation, I think, literally after the last game about where they place defensively across the league. Then they turn around in this game for 3 quarters. They look damn good defensively. Mm-hmm. But win. And again, that's going to your point with learning how to win. That's the tough part about it. Those little moments. The Aces, meanwhile, Washington was cruising offensively for a little bit during this game, and then nothing. Zip, zero, zilch. We'll see how this goes going forward. One other note for Kiki Iriafen, she's the first rookie in franchise history to have 3 straight double-doubles. So shout out to her.
Special.
To start this season. Yes, sir. And once again, these two have combined, I think almost every game this season, they've combined to score 30 points. The 2 rookies. Go ahead.
And see, folks, see what happens when you draft well. Team improves automatically. You don't got to go get these big-time stars and get your franchise. You just got to draft well. And get some rookies that's ready to go. There you have it.
Man, all right, y'all. Player of the game in this one. And again, hell of a shot from Joe Boyd.
Jackie Young.
Great discussion there. X factor for you guys. Hey, she made it easy. So, hey, X factor for you guys in this one.
I can't say Asia because I expect dominance out of her. But Chelsea, she was that 17 points. She and a lot of her points came late. You know what I mean? Like just reading the defense and finding openings and cutting back door. Getting the key layups and stuff like that. It hurt the Mystics, and with her doing that, it drew some attention to her, and that's how you get that wide open shot.
I have no argument. I'm going to say Chelsea, when we're sitting there talking about the timely turnovers for Washington, every one of Chelsea Gray's baskets came at a horrific time for Washington. Late in the clock, hits a fadeaway. Possession in shambles. Here's a layup. Just bailing your team out. Every time she scored, they sorely needed it. Again, I know we got a couple comments, so I'm going to try to get through. I'm going to take the Tom fired off a couple immediately after the game. When it get to this one, take the last shot, 14 seconds left, take the last shot. He had some other tweets about the comments about the league being rigged, but
what?
Yeah.
No, it's too early for this, man. It's too late in the day. It's too early in the season for this, man. Come on, man. Y'all gotta. No, the league. How can I say this in a nice way? The league is not going to have the Mystic Store game. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Like, no. It's just not gonna happen, man.
Not the team who just had 3 first-round picks, right? All right, Doug Dane with a comment. Vets making mistakes, helping off the corner. Dawson turning the ball over. Melvin driving 1-on-3. Mental mistakes from the vets is the issues right now. The rookies carrying the team.
I mean, you can't argue with it, bro. Like you on point. Yeah, the vets got to step up. You know, in a lot of ways, man. They got to make better decisions, man. The rookies should you can't blame you wouldn't blame the rookies for making these mental errors and stuff like that. They got to figure it out, man. Because you're right. If you don't have those turnovers, if you don't have those mental mistakes helping off the corner, like I get Jewel had a horrible shooting night, but you can't let somebody that's proven 1,000,000 times over to hit big shots and score the ball. You just can't overhelp like that. Like you just can't. Like if Asia drives, you dig down, try to make her read, but you gotta give yourself some type way to get back just in case she does kick it out, and she did. See what I'm saying? So there was just no excuse to be overhelped like that, and the Mystics paid the price.
For Washington, they're going from this game. This a little bit of a heartbreaker. They take on Phoenix on Sunday. Again, these rookies are having the welcome to the W introduction from hell. Again, they got to bounce back and see if they can get another W on this road trip before they return back home. Great opportunity in the trip on a positive note, but you know we all know what Phoenix has over there. Couple new pieces, very very tough pieces to deal with in their own before they ended up on the same team. So we see what that looks like. You know, you got Alyssa Thomas over there, Satu Sabali, amongst others. You guys have anything else to add to this tough one tonight? If not, we will see you guys Sunday evening. I think that game starts at 6 Eastern.